Minaj, right? How you saying that I got ragged by Riley when there's so many?
If you thought the Nicki Minaj and Cardi B feud couldn't get any messier, buckle up, because September 2025 just proved you dead wrong. These two just weaponized their Twitter fingers in the most nuclear way possible, dragged each other's kids into the battlefield, threw out apologies that felt about as genuine as a $3 bill, and somehow made us all complicit in the chaos. And here's the wildest part. Nobody knows if this is actually over, or if we're just in the eye of the storm. So grab your popcorn, silence your phone, and let's dive into the most unhinged chapter of hip-hop's longest-running soap opera. Welcome back to Fame Monarchy, where we dissect the drama, so you don't have to. And trust me, this one's going to need a whole autopsy. Now, let's rewind for a second, because context is everything. Nicki and Cardi have been serving us Cold War realness since 2017. You know the drill. Subliminal shots in verses, shady Instagram stories, that iconic shoe-throwing incident at New York Fashion Week that literally broke the internet. For years, it's been petty, it's been public, but it's mostly stayed within the boundaries of typical rap beef territory. Competitive? Absolutely. Personal? Sure. But targeting each other's children? That was a line nobody thought they'd cross. Well, plot twist. They crossed it, tap danced on it, and set it on fire. This latest explosion kicked off at the end of September, and honestly, the timing couldn't be more chaotic. Nicki's son, affectionately known as Papa Bear, was celebrating his birthday. You'd think that would be a ceasefire moment, right? A wholesome family day, some cake, maybe a cute Instagram post. But no. Instead, Nicki decided to use the occasion to launch a full-scale attack on Cardi, her man Stefon Diggs, her pregnancy, her album sales, and here's where it gets truly ugly, Cardi's eldest daughter, culture. And I'm not talking about vague shade. Nicki literally tweeted, and I quote, "Culture you a roach and a monkey. Like your sister." Yes, you heard that right. A child. A literal child got dragged into this mess with words that would make anyone's stomach turn. The internet collectively gasped, and not in a good way. But wait, it gets wilder. Cardi, understandably livid, fires back demanding an addy, which for those not fluent in celebrity beef language, means she wanted Nicki's address so they could settle this face-to-face. Now, whether Cardi was serious or just calling Nicki's bluff, we'll never know because, spoiler alert, no physical showdown happened. But the threat was enough to send social media into an absolute frenzy. Fans were split down the middle. Team Nicki versus Team Cardi became more polarized than a political debate, and the timeline was nothing but chaos, memes, and people begging both women to log off and touch some grass. And just when you thought Nicki might pump the brakes, she decided to expand her target list like she was playing rap beef bingo. Jay-Z? Check. Beyonce? Check. Saucy Santana? Why not throw him in too? Nicki was on an absolute rampage, tweeting non-stop since September 30th, holding nothing back, burning bridges like she had unlimited matches. It was unhinged. It was relentless. And honestly, it was kind of terrifying to watch someone with that much influence just go full scorched earth mode. Meanwhile, Cardi's response took a slightly different route. Instead of matching Nicki's energy with more insults, she pivoted to concerned trolling, which, let's be real, is peak passive-aggressive behavior. She basically told Nicki to get help, seek therapy, log off Twitter, and maybe spend some time in rehab. It was a strategic move, positioning herself as the rational one while subtly implying Nicki was spiraling. Classic psychological warfare, honestly. The internet ate it up. But here's the thing, neither woman was backing down. Then came the apologies. And oh boy, if you thought these were heartfelt, genuine moments of reflection, let me sell you some oceanfront property in Kansas while we're at it. Nicki went first, tweeting what can only be described as the world's most backhanded apology. She addressed Culture directly, saying, "Dear Culture, truth is, I did all of this for a bigger purpose and one day you'll understand. You're a cute child and lots of kids have cute little funny-looking gums before they grow into all of their features." Did she just apologize by calling a kid's gums funny-looking? Yes. Yes, she did. She followed it up with, "I apologize. As a child of God and queen of my community who look to me for integrity, you're an innocent child and don't deserve any of this." Translation: I'm sorry, but also I'm still the queen and I had my reasons. It was an apology wrapped in justification with a side of superiority. Chef's kiss of passive aggression. Not to be outdone, Cardi delivered her own version of a non-apology apology. She posted a lengthy tweet that essentially said, Please don't hate me when you grow up because your mommy would rather give me more attention than she gives you. Hopefully when somebody that really cares about her puts her in rehab and gets her the help she needs, she'll come out and read you a book. So let's break that down. Cardi apologized to culture while simultaneously dragging Nicki for being a bad mom and needing rehab. That's not an apology. That's a tactical strike disguised as remorse. Both women were serving sarcasm so thick you could cut it with a knife, and absolutely nobody was buying the sincerity. And here's where things stand today. The beef is technically still simmering. Both Nicki and Cardi have continued throwing subtle jabs since their so-called apologies. The shots are less direct now, more strategic, but they're still there. It's like they both realized they went too far, tried to course correct for the sake of optics, but can't actually help themselves from continuing the pettiness. Fans are exhausted. Some are begging for peace. Others are fully invested in the drama like it's their favorite reality show. And honestly, it's hard to see how this ends. 7 years of beef doesn't just evaporate because of 2 sarcastic tweets. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Who actually wins here? Because despite the messiness, the toxicity, and the absolutely unacceptable dragging of children, both Nicki and Cardi are seeing tangible benefits. Album sales? Skyrocketing. Streaming numbers? Through the roof. Social media engagement? Off the charts. Controversy sells, and both women are cashing in whether they admit it or not. So maybe, just maybe, there's a twisted incentive to keep this going. Not saying it's right, but it's definitely profitable. Here's the thing though. This beef has officially crossed a line that can't be uncrossed. Bringing kids into the equation isn't just bad optics, it's genuinely harmful. These are real children who will one day grow up, Google their names, and find some truly horrific things said about them by grown adults with millions of followers. That's the legacy being created here. And while fans might be entertained in the moment, the long-term damage is something neither Nicki nor Cardi seem to be considering. Or maybe they are, and they just don't care. Either way, it's a mess. So what's next? Your guess is as good as mine. Will they ever truly squash this beef? Will there be another explosive Twitter war next month? Will someone finally step in and mediate? Or are we doomed to watch this cycle repeat itself until the end of time? One thing's for sure. This story is far from over. And knowing these two, the next chapter is probably already being written as we speak. If you made it this far, you're officially part of the Fame Monarchy family, and we appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment letting us know whose side you're on, or if you're just here for the chaos like the rest of us. And stay tuned, because we'll be tracking every single development in this saga. Trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next. Until then, keep your notifications on, your drama radar sharp, and remember, in the world of celebrity beef, nothing is ever really over.